Hello boys and girls, it's Mrs Bramford here and I'd like to welcome you back after a lovely sunny half-term break. This is a quick video just to talk you through the work we will be doing over the next 2 weeks in English. We will be looking at Dear Mother Goose, a lovely book that we were reading in February time this year. And it's all about letter writing, so we're going to remind ourselves of how we write letters and those features now. So, starting with the 1st of June, Monday, we will be thinking about the features of a letter. Now there are 2 documents. One is the input, which gives you a little bit of an idea of what I'm saying now, but then there's the task as well that will look like this. So you will be reading through the letters, you will be labelling the address, what the letter is about, who it is to, who it is from, and then saying whether the letter has a problem or a solution in there. With all of these resources, it is up to you whether you print them off, and you can do a bit of cutting and sticking. If you don't have a printer at home, then by all means use them as a template or ideas to help you. Do not feel that you need to be printing these off. Just try and do what you can to get the work done. So that was Mondays. Tuesday you're going to be looking at addresses. So you will have a look for your address in your house, have a little look at the school address, and then have a go at writing your own address, remembering those proper nouns. If it's the name of something, a place or a person, it will need a capital letter at the beginning. So that is Tuesday, and then Wednesday you're thinking a bit more about the problems and solutions. So you will find a problem in a letter. So here's the letter from Humpty Dumpty, and his problem is, I keep falling off walls. Silly old Humpty Dumpty. So you will have a look at the solutions to the letters we have at the bottom, and you'll see if you think it matches up, which one it might be. So have you looked in the fridge? Probably would not do a very good job of answering giving a solution to Humpty Dumpty's problem, but perhaps you shouldn't keep sitting on walls. Why not try an egg cup? Would be the perfect solution, so that's one you'd match to it. Again, don't feel you have to print these off. It could just be a reading exercise or remembering what they have read previously. So Thursday is when we start thinking about writing our own letter. Now this is a letter you will have seen before. We did it in school together. In this letter, Farmer Steve has written to Year 1, but if you could please write the letter back from Mother Goose. Just a little mistake there on the original letter. So again, we have got a address up at the top, Diddle Farm, Radish Way, Pickley. I like it. We've got who it is to, Dear Year 1. We've got what it is about, including a question in there as well, and then who it is from, love from Farmer Steve. So you are going to write a reply to this letter from Mother Goose and answering the problem, giving it a solution. So let's have a read. I'm in a pickle. My dish has run away with the spoon, and now I have no way to eat my soup. What shall I do? Well, you will see up here in your plan, you have already got the address. This is Mother Goose's address. It's the same in all of her letters in the book, so it would remain the same for your letter as well. And down at the bottom, who it is from, we have got that it is from Mother Goose already. The letter is to the person who we are replying to, so it was from Farmer Steve here, so we will write it to Farmer Steve at the top. So the main thing you need to concentrate on is in this box here, the what it is about, and it is a solution. We don't need another problem, we need a solution. So you're going to write it to match this letter over on the left. I am in a pickle. Well, I might follow that up with what a pickle it is. And I can give it an exclamation mark just to match Farmer Steve over there. So what would my advice be? How else could you eat soup? You couldn't use a knife and fork. That would be silly. I tell you what, sometimes when I have my lunch at school, I have my soup in a mug rather than a bowl, and I drink it out of the mug. So maybe I could suggest that to Farmer Steve. I'm going to write it as a question and start it with why not? So let's have a go. Why? Why, check my spelling is correct, why not try drinking your soup from a mug? There we go. And then I'll follow it up with, I hope that your dish and spoon return home soon. Love, Mother Goose. Now just having a look at my checklist down here, I'm going to check that I've got everything I might like to use in here. So I've got a question, haven't I? Oh, now let me just double check. Why, to start with, it's asked something. Why not try drinking your soup from a mug? What have I got missing? A question mark. So I'm going to go back and change that there to a question mark. I've used my finger spaces. My handwriting, thankfully, on the computer is very neat anyway. Capital letters and full stops. I've got a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence. I've got a full stop there. I've got an exclamation mark there and a question mark, but all valid ways to finish a sentence. I haven't got any adjectives, so what could I describe? An adjective describes a noun. So, the noun here, mug, I'm going to say a large mug, so you can have lots of soup to eat. And conjunctions, but, or, and, because. I've got an and in there. I maybe could add something else in, but I'm not going to worry about that too much for now. So there's my plan. I've planned it very carefully. On Friday, the 5th of June, you will then write your plan up neatly onto a piece of paper. Now, you have got this sheet. I've already started writing on there for myself, but you have got this sheet in the folder for Friday the 5th of June. You can choose to print it off, or you can just write it neatly on another sheet to help you out. Again, with the plan, if you don't want to print it off, that's absolutely fine, but I would make sure you've got your checklist somewhere nearby because it's very helpful when you're doing your writing. So you would copy up your work very neatly onto here, making sure you're using your capital letters, full stops, and everything else as we go. So I'm going to lower those down and we're going to have a think about the following week, the 8th of June. Now, if you're just at the beginning of the 1st of June, absolutely fine. If you're starting with the 8th now, start from here. That's lovely. So the 8th of June, you don't need to write anything down, don't need to print anything out. You're going to do a little bit of research. I would like you to choose a nursery rhyme of your own to write a problem and then the solution letter from Mother Goose using the plan that we will look at for Tuesday. I have chosen Little Boy Blue. That is a rhyme that we did in school and we used that one, so I'm familiar with it. I'm happy to use that. You can choose to use Little Boy Blue as well, Or you may do a little bit of research and choose your very own nursery rhyme. It may be one that you know already. It may be one that you read in a nursery rhyme book. Or with help of an adult, you might like to go onto YouTube or something like that and have a little listen to a few or watch videos of a few different nursery rhymes and make your decision that way. But I've chosen Little Boy Blue, and here it is. Little boy blue, come blow your horn, the sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Where's the boy who looks after the sheep? He's under a haystack, fast asleep. Will you wake him? No, not I, for if I do, he's sure to cry. So Tuesday, you will use your chosen nursery rhyme and start to plan your letters. So as you can see, we're going to start with the problem on this side here. Now the first thing I'm going to do is think about who the letter is from. Is it going to be from Little Boy Blue? It's not. He's fast asleep. Who might it be from? I think it might be from the farmer who's in charge, whose farm has all the cows and the sheep, and who's in charge of Little Boy Blue. I'm going to use Farmer Steve again, but you might want to be a bit more inventive yourself if you were writing it. So Farmer Steve is written there. The second thing I'm going to do is think of the address of who it is from. So Farmer Steve is our person writing it. Where might he live? I'm going to use some of the words from my nursery rhyme. Meadow Farm. So Meadow. Oh, now Meadow Farm, the name is Meadow, so I'm going to use a capital letter at the beginning for my proper noun. Meadow Farm. And I'm going to follow it up with Sleepy Town, because Little Boy Blue's sleeping. There is already filled in who it is to. It's to Mother Goose. She's the one with all the solutions. So now we're going to think about the problem. Now I'm not going to write full sentences for my planning. There's a lot of planning to do in just one short lesson. So I'm just going to write a few notes to help me write my sentences tomorrow. So it is a problem. So I'm going to say it is a big problem, remembering to use my adjectives there. What's happening? Little Boy Blue. As you can see, I've used capital letters for each of those because they are all part of his name. So Little Boy Blue is asleep. And what will happen if he wakes up? He will cry. I'm also going to finish up with a question. So I'm going to do what shall I do? I've got what down there to help me. So I'm going to very carefully copy the spelling. What shall I do? And I'm not going to forget my question mark like before this time. There we go. So there I have it. I've got my ideas really briefly written in. I have only used one adjective. I'm sure I can add some more. I'm going to use some conjunctions when I write it up. And I might just try and make it a little bit more interesting. They are very basic sentences. So, solution, solution, who it is from has already been filled in. It's from Mother Goose and we've got her address up there. Who is it to? It's going to be to Farmer Steve, isn't it? Because we're answering that. So I'm just going to copy that over, Farmer Steve. What's the solution then to this problem? Now, if you think back to when we were in school, I'm going to use that to help me. We decided that if Farmer Steve blew Little Boy Blue's horn very gently, it might wake him up without startling him and making him cry. So I'm going to write that just in a few brief sentences to give me an idea when I'm doing my writing. So, blow his horn gently. If you are quiet, you might not startle him. Now again, I haven't used any adjectives in here, I haven't got a question in there, and I haven't got any conjunctions either, or I've got an if there, but it's not quite what I'd like. So I am going to add to that and make it a little bit stronger when I come to it in a moment. So now I'm going to bring up my letter. So Wednesday you are going to write the problem letter and really beef out what you're writing, and Thursday you're going to do the solution. I'm just going to talk you through the problem letter here. So I've got Dear Mother Goose, I've copied that over. I added a bit more to the address here, so it's Meadow Farm on Haystack Hill, Sleepy Town. I looked for the spelling of haystack on here as well, just to help me out. And who it is from, Farmer Steve, but I'm not going to just write Farmer Steve, I'm going to write a little bit more here. He's going to say love from Farmer Steve. It's a little bit of a nicer way to finish a letter. Okay, so what is my letter about? What is the problem? So it is a big problem. I might start that as Farmer Steve writing it. So I have a big problem. I, finger space, have a big problem. I'm going to put I might put an exclamation mark, thinking back to the letters we had before. It might be quite a nice way to do it. I have a big problem. So Little Boy Blue is asleep. But what should he be doing? Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to use that conjunction but, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Little Boy Blue is asleep, but he should be looking after the sheep, shouldn't he? So I'm going to write that down. Remembering again my capital letters. Little Boy Blue is asleep, but he should be looking, I'm going to go back to my poem, looking after the sheep. And again, after the sheep. Sheep. I have a big problem. Little Boy Blue is asleep, but he should be looking after the sheep. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to get rid of these so it's a bit easier to see. You obviously won't be deleting your lines, it's just so you can see mine. So I'm going to go back. It is a big problem. Tick, I've done that sentence. Little Boy Blue is asleep. Tick, done that sentence. He will cry. So I need to write something about him crying if we wake him up. I'm going to start with he will cry, but why will he cry? He will cry if I wake him. Why would he cry? Because it will scare him. And then I'm going to finish up with my last sentence there, my question. What shall I do? Question mark. Now, just to make sure I am ready, I'm going to read the whole thing to check my letter is good. Meadow Farm, Haystack Hill, Sleepy Town. Oh, it's giving me a little wiggle there. I'm going to make it 2 words. And it needs a capital letter because it is a name of a place. Dear Mother Goose, a little comma after that introduction there. I have a big problem. Little Boy Blue is asleep, but he should be looking after the sheep. He will cry if I wake him because it will scare him. What shall I do? Love from Farmer Steve. Right, let's just check my checklist. I use this, think it, say it, hear it, write it, check it as I wrote. Capital letters and full stops, I am happy with. I would go through and check that very carefully if I was doing it. Finger spaces I've done, and my handwriting, again, very luckily, is neat when we are doing this. Adjectives, I don't think I've got any adjectives. Oh, I've got that one there, haven't I? Blue and little are both adjectives. Maybe the sheep, I could describe those. The sheep are actually in the meadow. Should they be in the meadow? Is that saying that they shouldn't be? Maybe I could say he should be looking after the naughty sheep. Or sheep. So I've got another adjective there. Have I got any conjunctions? I've got because and I've got but. Very happy with those. And I've got a question as well. So I'm happy that I've included lots of things from my checklist there. So you would write your problem letter on Wednesday. On the Thursday, you will write the solution letter. Now Friday, if I just remove this, I have got some paper here for you to write out and publish your letters neatly. Again, you can print these off, but if you choose not to, that is absolutely fine. Just publish it, make it as neat as possible, best handwriting, and with all of your edited mistakes. As neatly as you possibly can. I would love to see any of your letters that you write at all throughout the week, and any work you do. If you upload to Dojo, myself, Miss Newell and Mrs Rampton would be delighted to see what you are up to. Hope you enjoy yourself with this unit, and take your time. You've got 2 weeks to do it, but we would love to see what you get up to. Thank you very much for listening, and see you soon. Bye bye.